Good evening and welcome to our Committee of Adjustment meeting. Can I get a mover and seconder to open the meeting? Moved by Deputy Mayor Lang, seconded by Councillor Bougie that we open the meeting. The call of the chair at 5:30 p.m. All those in favor? Carried. Confirmation of the agenda. Are there any changes? No, seeing none. A mover and a seconder to accept the agenda as is. Moved by Councillor Bougie, seconded by Councillor McDonnell that we accept the agenda as presented. All those in favor? Carried. Disclosures of pecuniary interest. Are there any? Seeing none. Approval of previous meetings. Were there any errors or omissions noted? Okay, mover and seconder to move the previous minutes. Moved by Councillor Bougie, seconded by Councillor McDonnell, that we accept the previous meetings minutes. That's February 23rd, 26th, as they were presented. All in favor? Carried. We'll get to new business and reports. A13, 2025 Sabre. Please proceed.
All right, so good evening. Tonight we have two applications on our agenda. We'll start with the first one, but before we do, I'll read some required wording under the Ontario Planning Act. This is a hearing under Section 45 of the Ontario Planning Act. Any person may attend this hearing and/or make written or verbal representation, either in support of or in opposition to the proposed minor variance. If a person, the applicant, or public body does not make oral or written submissions at this hearing or before the minor variance is decided upon, their comments will not be considered by the Committee of Adjustment. Only the applicant, the minister, or specified persons as defined in the Ontario Planning Act or any public body may appeal the decision of a minor variance of the Committee of Adjustment to the Ontario Land Tribunal within 20 days of the decision. Note that the committee members have reviewed the application along with any written submissions received in support of or in opposition prior to this hearing, and in addition we'll hear today oral submissions from any interested parties.
I forgot to mention that Councillor Jaworski will be coming. Something came up just before she left home, so she's likely just 10 to 15 minutes behind. Please proceed.
So the subject property is part of Lot 6, Concession 1, and Lot 53 on Registered Plan 133, being Part 1 in Reference Plan 14R 3353 in Geographic Township of Lancaster, now in the Township of South Glengarry, County of Glengarry, located at 6247 164th Ave. The subject property is approximately 0.1 acres in area and has 42.79 feet of water frontage. This is just a location of the subject property, so the St. Lawrence to the south. The applicant has constructed a dock that does not comply with Section 3.397G of Zoning Bylaw 3809. This section requires a dock to be located no closer than 4 meters or 13 feet to the nearest adjacent lot line. The purpose of Section 3.397G is to regulate the location of a boathouse, boat port, float plane hangar, docks, and wharfs so that these structures do not encroach on the adjacent property's water frontages. The water frontage is measured by projecting the lot boundaries onto the water perpendicular to the shoreline. And to kind of help with visualizing that, we have an image here so you can see the 4 meters in from each side yard. A minor variance was applied for and processed, and a Committee of Adjustment meeting was held on November 24th, 2025, to consider the requested variance. The previous requested minor variance was to reduce the 4-meter setback from the east and west adjacent lot lines to 0 meters to the dock. If this minor variance is approved, the dock will remain the width of the subject property along the shoreline of the St. Lawrence. So the applicants have provided this site plan with their first application showing the black area to be removed. So you can see the through line of the subject property line. The Committee of Adjustment deferred the decision to provide the applicant an opportunity to explore options to modify the dock to determine if a greater setback could be achieved. On January 28, 2026, the applicant revised their application to request the following minor variance: to reduce the 4-meter setback on the east adjacent lot line to 1.8 meters and the west adjacent lot line to 0 meters from the dock. The revised application was reviewed and deemed completed by staff and was circulated on February 26, 2026. And with that submission, the applicants submitted the following, this site plan here, showing once again the black to be removed. So we have a few pictures. The grass is a little greener, but pictures from the initial application showing the dock at the rear. So you can see along the west property line, the dock protruding. And this would be the west property line. The other side would be the east. And the applicants requested this photo to be submitted as well so that the committee can understand the construction of the underlying infrastructure holding the dock up. And that's the new sign from this year. The property is designated rural district in the county official plan and is zoned limited service residential and floodplain holding in the township zoning bylaw. That's just the image of the zoning and designation. This application was circulated to all abutting property owners within 60 meters, the RCA, and applicable municipal staff. We have received a written comment from the abutting property owner to the east. Karen and Malcolm McCauley have suggested a 2.5 meter setback from the east property line to the dock. The RCA has also reviewed the requested minor variance and has no objections to the proposed minor variance as requested. So planning staff have reviewed the requested minor variance and recommend that the minor variance be approved, subject to the following conditions. That the modification to the dock must be completed by May 1st, 2026 to reflect the approved setback on the east side. Should the committee choose to approve a variance that has a greater setback than 1.8 meters, planning staff are supportive of this and request the decision include the condition listed above to ensure that the work is completed in a timely manner and prior to the summer season. The required 4-meter setback would allow for the dock structure to be constructed, maintained, accessed, and used without encroaching and negatively impacting abutting property owners. Property owners and tenants are entitled to quiet enjoyment of their premises, free from interference and encroachment by neighboring properties. In accordance with the Ontario Planning Act, the Committee of Adjustment and staff must consider the 4 tests when deciding on a requested minor variance. These tests are that the requested minor variance be minor in nature. The variance must be desirable for the appropriate development and use of land, building, or structure. The general intent and purpose of the zoning bylaw must be maintained, and the general intent and purpose of the official plan must be maintained.
So as you see there, if there are members of the public that wish to speak, just state your name and address, and I guess we'll let the applicants go first if you'd wish.
Hello, my name is Jeff McDonald. I live at 18246 Hickory Street here in Williamstown.
Did you wish to provide any more comment?
Oh, no, actually, I think the variance is good. The reason why we changed the variance as it was, in the spirit of nature of trying to come to an agreement, it was deemed that the support pillars, as you saw in the one picture, we would have to cut that if it went back any further than the 1.8 meters, requiring much more extensive work right there, the support beams. So on the east side, that is just an overhang that we can easily cut off, and that won't be a problem. The support beams, as you can see, that go further out would require us to redo the entire frontage of the property, including the supporting wall. That's why we asked for the 1.8 meter variance.
Thank you very much. I believe colleagues as members of the public may wish to speak. If you wish to, please do so now, and do mention your name and address.
Yes, this is Malcolm and Karen McCauley. We're here in Texas at 7022 A Standard Road, Magnolia. Our property in Canada is at 6273 164th Ave, which is next door. Would you mind sharing your video screen with us? For some reason, it was never reshared, so we didn't get to see anything. And I'm not sure why that happened. It was blanked out and it was never brought back up.
We have a black screen here.
Hello?
Yes, we're just working on seeing if we can get
Yes.
that to you.
Yeah. And then,
Just wait till they.
Yeah.
Oh, they are.
okay, now we finally got that back. So if someone could put up my slide and then I can talk to my slide. So we understand the 1.8 meters, and we're in agreement that there is a, there is a constraint because of the post that supports the dock. However, we were looking to see an extension of that so that we get 1.8 meters from the property line at the waterfront, which would mean 2.5 meters from the original corner of that dock, meaning that there would be a small wedge cut out on the water side to give us that 1.8 meters at the waterfront.
Okay, and that's that picture there, the black line being the property line if it extended into the water. That's correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Thank you. And I suppose then, questions from members of council? Councillor McDonnell?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. I don't have any question at this point, really. Personally, I was fine with the original application myself, but council decided to defer it. At this point, I think the applicants made ample concessions, and I think if you go along all the riverfront there, and frankly across the municipality, there's a number of docks that have zero setbacks. I really don't even think it's a precedent we want to set, even enforcing a setback, just because we could have spats between neighbors over a dock every which ways. But if we're at this point, I am fine to approve as presented. I think they've proven they're going as far back as they really can, and I think at this point we've seen enough concession.
Thank you. Other members of council? Deputy Mayor Lang?
I'm just wondering, was that all the members of the public that wanted to speak to it? I just didn't know if there was anybody else. Or...
Were there any further members of the public who wish to speak? Sorry for jumping the gun there, perhaps. Okay.
No, I don't have any further questions. Well, I guess I could ask, if you were to follow this, would you have to cut some of the steel frame to do this? Is that...
You can go back to the picture if you want.
We haven't seen that picture before, so I can't speak to that at this time because I have no idea what the measurements would be and how that would affect.
So
We
the
would
1.8
need
meters,
to-
would that go from that corner to the start of the steel frame? Would that be the 1.8 meters?
Yes, the T frame that you can see, that is the 1.8 meters. So if we need to cut another 0.7 meters on an angle off, I can't see how that's doable without taking that support beam and, like I said, redoing the entire frontage.
All right, I'm willing to second it.
All right. Did anybody just, I mean, I guess you haven't moved yet formally, but there would be a seconder. I just, if there's some conversation, if there's further conversation on either side.
Can I say something?
You certainly can. Go ahead, please.
I just want to be sure that we have enough setback so we have the privacy that we need, and that bit on the front would ensure a bit more privacy for us. Even though that may mean a little bit of cutting back for them, I think it's something that is needed due to our situation that we have had over the last 6 years, and I think it's time that, you know, that was actually cut back at the front there as well.
Thank you. Councillor Jaworski, as I had mentioned that you, something came up just before you were leaving. So did you want to see anything in particular from the presentation? I know the materials were provided beforehand, so I don't know if you had any questions.
Thank you. Through Mayor McDonald,
while I would appreciate a quick recap on exactly what is being proposed in terms of cutting of the frame, but I'd also don't want to hold up the rest of council. So if you wanted to proceed without doing that, I understand since I was late.
All right. And Councillor Bougere, you're all right? Okay, so then I suppose in this case, if I can summarize it quickly for Councillor Jaworski, is in front of us is that 1.8 meter setback on the land side, and I think it comes out, and that's what the Macaulays are not in favor of. That's that 2.5 I think they asked for to make it 1.8 on the extended river side. I understand. That's essentially like a. Can you?
I believe that's correct, right? The 1.8 meters will be to the outermost portion of the dock.
Correct.
Yes, that's what we,
Okay.
yeah, that's what we requested. So again, it wouldn't incur the support post, but yes, there would be a cut on both the support beam and the frontal beam, but you would have to put a welded portion of steel to secure those two together.
All right, Councillor McDonnell's looking at me to call vote. I'll get a mover and a seconder for it. So Councillor McDonnell moves it, Deputy Mayor Lang seconds it. All those in favor of the proposal as presented? Okay, carried. It is carried. That being said, there is a caveat, I believe, just to there's an appeals period, if you don't mind, Mr. Hutton.
So there will be a 20-day appeal period, and after which the minor variance will be completed. You'll be notified when the 20 days is up. If there's been no appeals, then you're free to make the construction before that May 1st date.
And as nothing has been canceled, I changed, I think that May 1st deadline still applies. Okay, please proceed.
Thank you very much, council. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much and have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we will move to AO2 2026, Ogerly and Danaher. Mr. Hutton.
Okay, so our second application tonight is on behalf of Ogerly and Danaher as agent.
Yeah.
The meeting will begin with a presentation of the proposed minor variance by township staff, followed by questions from the committee and members of the public. The subject property is part of Lot 24, Concession 2, in the geographic township of Lancaster, now in the township of South Glengarry, County of Glengarry, located at 21043 Concession 2 Road, or County Road 26. The subject property is approximately 0.96 acres in area. So this is a reference photo here. That's County Road 26 running north and south, and the subject property in black. The applicants intend to remove an existing front porch and to construct a larger front porch across the front of the existing single detached dwelling within the required front yard setback. The following relief from the zoning bylaw 3809 is requested from part 10.2 to reduce the minimum front yard setback from 15 meters to 6.2 meters. This is an image provided as a site plan with the application, so it's a little bit difficult to see. I've zoomed in as much as I could, but you can see the 6.2 meters requested being here, and that's to the front yard line of the property. There's a few images. This is from County Road 26, looking east. So you can see the front porch here, and it will be extended out along the length of the building. And then this would be from the other direction. And then from the front as well. The subject property is currently zoned agricultural in the zoning bylaw and is designated agricultural resource in the county official plan. The application was circulated to all abutting property owners within 60 meters and applicable municipal staff. We have received no written or verbal comments to date. The proposed minor variance has also been circulated to SDG Transportation Services. They have approved the reduction in the county road setback from 45 to 12.2 meters and can support the proposed minor variance as well. Planning staff have provided comments and a recommendation to approve the minor variance as requested. So if there's anything you'd like to add, or
Yeah, if there's anything like that, or we can carry on. I know Deputy Mayor Lang spoke at the county council, kind of said, let's, in that case, if you want to take the mic and maybe echo what you said there.
I'm happy to speak again. As the mayor said, the mayor and I have both seen this as it came to county council already for approval on their side, and county council approved it. I don't think there was any objections. It only makes sense. The veranda is already existing. It's just going to be made a little longer, but it's not going to get any closer to the road. And there's going to be a complete renovation, I think, at the north end, which wouldn't make any difference to the road either. But I don't know, glad to see properties being, spruced up and made a little better. And anyway, I'm all in favor.
Any further questions from council or movers and seconders? Okay, we'll moved by Councilor Jaworski. Yep. Seconded by Councilor McDonnell that we approve this application as presented. All those in favor? Carried. So it's approved, subject to.
yes, so there'll be a 20-day appeal period. Again, I'll send a notification when that 20 days is up, and then you're free to continue with the building permit application process.
Thank you very much. So the next meeting will be to be determined, and can I get a mover and a seconder for adjournment? Moved by Councilor Bougie, second by Councilor McDonnell. They would adjourn to the call of the chair at 5:57 p.m. All those in favor? Carried.